in today's video, I'm going to show you how to know when not to trade as we go through my market recap for today being Wednesday, the 20th of May, 2026. So I didn't take any trade today because the market was very, very ranging. It was not giving clear price action and the rest. So I'll take you through everything. And with this, you should be able to know how to stay away from the market, when not to take a trade, and so on and so forth. So let's begin with XAUUSD. You can see the market started. Let me take this out. This was the opening candle. So the opening candle was bullish and its price moved off a little bit before making two bearish candles as its retracement and broke structure to the upside. So after breaking structure around 115, it had some bearish momentum that finally broke this low here and had a change of character at 215. So after this change of character, there wasn't any valid supply zone to take a trade from. That is how you know when to be in a trade and when not to be. So as I didn't see any valid supply zones, I waited for a second one. So price made a retracement back to the upside a little bit and came down. Now, this is a valid supply zone. It is right here. The only reason I didn't take this trade, which is how another way of knowing when not to take a trade, is that price did not break this low. So what it just did was to weak this level and close back above it. After that close above it, it started moving back up and finally changed character. So this was just a liquidity grab. After taking liquidity, it changed character and then kept on going. Made a mild retracement. Not a mild retracement. It made a strong retracement though, but there wasn't any demand zones. There was a demand zone, quite alright, but let me mark it out here. This was supposed to be the demand zone to take a trade from. Now, this would have been in a beautiful trade, but the only reason I didn't take this trade was because my stops would have been here, meaning my target would be way above this level, and it wasn't really something I was planning on, engaging with because it seems too far. So I didn't take this trade, but this would have been a very, very clean setup, a valid setup. And coupled with the fact that this is liquidity, all right, this is liquidity. Something was going on with this, my mouse. What is the problem? Okay, so this is liquidity. This is our demand zone. The reason I didn't take this trade again was because the move away from this zone was not really that sharp. You can see it was just like a slight move away from it, followed by another bullish candle, and then it's there, this retracement, this accumulation rather. So that's just it on gold. I've taken a lot of time explaining gold. On EURUSD, this was the candle open for the day, and then its price moved up a little bit before breaking structure to the downside. Now, after it broke this structure at around 12:45 a.m. peak in Asian session, it just kept on going down, and it reached this point. I really don't get why this thing was doing that. So it reached this point, and it started accumulating, just ranging around this point until it finally broke structure to this place. Now, this was supposed to be when we'll start getting into sales, but then again, there wasn't any supply zone here, so we couldn't take any trade here. And trust me, if there had been a supply zone, it would have been nice to mark out something like this. Something was going on too. Yeah, so that would be nice to mark out something like this, with this being our liquidity. But price didn't give us any valid supply zone, so that's it. Then after that, came here, took liquidity and changed character back to the upside with this large candle. Anyway, that's it on EURUSD. On GBPUSD, this one now was what was really weird, because here you have a breakout structure at this point. After this breakout structure, price came down here, and I was expecting a mild retracement before it continued breakout structure. But what he did was to come up here and take liquidity at this point. Came back down. It also took liquidity here. Went up, took this liquidity again, came back down, took this liquidity again before finally changing character to the upside. Now, if you see this thing, after taking out this liquidity, what you expect is price to just, this is a protected one, you pick here, looking for a valid demand zone, so rather supply zone to take a trade off of. But luckily there wasn't any supply zones here, so we couldn't take this trade, and you can see why. It just was taking liquidity at both ends, stopping out a lot of it. If people had been, a lot of people that traded GBP USD today would have been messed up badly. But you stay away from the trade, and that is it on GU. Now on AUD USD, this one was a trade that I missed out, but I deliberately missed out on this one. I saw the trade, I didn't just take it. Let me explain. First of all, price went bullish for 3 candles at the beginning of the day, and then broke structure to the downside. After doing that, I didn't mark this as a new break of structure because it wasn't seeming that valid to me. So I just waited and see what it did. It was just making a stepwise formation, like it was just moving higher highs, and internal structures were formed. So finally, it changed character at this point at 9:30, and after changing character, there wasn't any demand zone around this point to take a trade off. What it then did was to consolidate around this point for a while and break structure again. So I was like, okay, if you check it well, you could use this as a trend line, which is what? Trend line liquidity. So I wasn't too sure on taking a trade here because it was just so easy. This was my strong low. Now I wasn't comfortable taking this buy because this is liquidity here. Price can just clear the whole thing, and then maybe this long candle could have easily been a bearish candle to clear it out, but it didn't do that. It just came here, tapped it, and went to. So that's it on AUD USD. Before we continue, you guys should like the video, drop a thought or comment. If you're enjoying it, share it to people so that they can watch more and subscribe. Finally, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm now at 75 subscribers. The next mark is 100. I can't wait to reach 100. So follow me, guys. We'll be able to reach 100. We should be able to reach 100 maybe this month or next month, but it'd be nice if we can reach it this month. Also follow me on X, follow me on Facebook, follow me on TikTok, on Instagram, and most importantly, join my Telegram group. I will always drop updates on each day, as you know, in real time. So you guys should follow me there. You should subscribe to it, join it. All the links will be in the video description. But once again, subscribe to this YouTube channel. Now back to the charts. On USDCAD, this is the second to the last pair. And this is what happened. We had a break of structure to the upside and a little retracement, 2 bearish candles before price broke structure again to the upside. Now, this normally is supposed to be, or it is, a demand zone, but the reason I didn't take this trade was because it was too close. It was too close. If I was to target a 1-2 to 1 now, this would have been my target. Yes, it worked out well, but I wasn't really comfortable, and the fact that it was deep into Asian session, so I didn't even take the trade. I don't even think I was awake by that time because I slept late. So price broke structure at this point. There wasn't any valid demand zone here to take a trade off it. Finally broke structure again. This wasn't I wasn't convinced on this demand zone, this one here, and it also was too wide. The reason I wasn't convinced was because it looked like this candle here this week had mitigated this zone, and which rightly so. As price came back, it didn't even respect it, just be freeze and change character. So after changing character, I still couldn't see any valid supply zones to sell from, but this would have probably been what it's reacted off of for this huge sell. But I wasn't convinced and I didn't take trade. So a lot of missed trades, but if you apply context to them, it will not really be disturbed. The market will always brings up your setups. There are many days coming. So we just need to continue showing up, and this is just one of those days where you don't see anything. It's better to not trade than to lose your money. So USDCHF, last pair. This is what happened. Price broke structure to the upside. Second one broke structure. There wasn't any valid demand zones. So it started accumulating around this point, came back down, faked a bullish continuation, and it didn't even take liquidity, just came close to it and this huge dump. So that's it for all the pairs I analyzed. And once again, like the video, drop a thought or comments, turn on your notification button, share it to people, and most importantly, subscribe to my YouTube channel and join my Telegram community. So we'll see again later, and that is how you know when not to take a trade. So we'll see again later, and bye.